Hello, I'm Rick Stivers, and today we're going to talk a little bit about old grease and oils. First off, I want to talk about new greases, and what I've been using here lately is this Penn Precision Reel Grease, and it works very well for me. I've had no trouble with it whatsoever, and you can see that this was a 1-pound tub, and I've probably used 2/3 of it now, and it took me approximately 250 fishing reels to get to that point where I had used that much grease. So one of these tubs will really go a long way. Also, I did purchase this Super Lube. This was recommended to me by Chris Jenkins, and I have no reason to suspect that this won't work, but it seems to not go as far. I've lubed up about 6 reels with this, and this was a mostly full pound when I got it. But you see, after lubing up about 5 or 6 reels, I've really used quite a bit of it. And I don't know if it's just because of the color. I tend to use more of it, thinking I don't have as much on there. But it seems to work pretty well, too. This was fairly cheap compared to the Penn. The Penn cost me, I just bought a brand new tub of Penn Precision Reel Grease, because to tell you the truth, I really thought I had less of this left than I really do. So I went ahead and ordered a new one, but I've got a brand new one here. But this thing cost me $35, whereas this Cow's Universal Drag Reel Grease can be used. You can use it for both, and I've used about 1/3 of that, lubing up drag washers and other greases, or other reels, and other parts of reels. I've done some whole reels with it, but this one I think was $54. So that one tends to get a bit pricey, so I was trying to use the less expensive stuff, and I went with this. I have no reason to believe, though, that this Super Lube multi-purpose. Now, there's 2 different ones. One is the multi-purpose synthetic grease with the PTF in it, and the other one is something different, and it's not the same Super Lube at all. So you want to make sure that if you're going to use one to lubricate reels with, that you use this one. For cleaning, I use WD-40. It dissolves almost all the old greases off of things, and I've only encountered one time when it affected any of my metals or plastic, and I'm getting ready to show you what that was. All right, I have this fly reel. It's an automatic fly reel, and it was stuck and jammed, and it set for a long time. So I sprayed it down with WD-40, and I've left it in there soaking, and it seems to have dissolved the paint. I thought this was a plastic piece, but it's not. I believe it's metal, and it has dissolved the paint off of there. That's the only time I've ever seen it do anything like that. One day, I might be able to get this thing open, and we'll do a video on this reel. Now, for my oils, I purchased this Lucas fishing reel oil, and I bought this because of this absolutely fantastic oiler that's on it. That thing gets into all the little places. When you get into some of these reels, they've got this little oiler on the end here, and that little needle pin will go right inside there and allow you to get it down inside there and put your oil directly inside. You see it's blue, but if you look at this one, it's not blue, it's clear. And the reason being is because when I finished off this Lucas, this stuff was about $8 for this little bottle. And I bought 2 of them at the time that I purchased it. I think they were about $8 a bottle. Well, I bought a bottle of Penn oil that was about 4 times as much, and it was just about $8. So I've been using it to refill these bottles. It seems to work just as well as the Lucas. I don't know that one is any better than the other one, but I bought these Lucas because of this fantastic oiler. I thought it was well worth it to purchase one time. Now, let's talk about old grease. And in that, when you open up some of these reels, you will see that the grease is dried up and it's all crusty and stuff in there. Well, I bought this tub of grease about 15 years ago. And it sat on my boat out in that hot shed for all those years. And when you open it up, it actually still looks very good. Okay. But it is thicker. It feels thicker than the pen. If you compare the two together, the pen seems to be a lot less thick than what this is. What I have decided is, just because of the age of this grease, I've decided I'm not going to use it. I'm going to dispose of it. But I think if I were going to use, if I had it available and I didn't have any other grease available, I would use it to lubricate a reel. But I would certainly get back into that reel at least once every 2 years to check and see what the condition of the grease in it is. But I think this grease would slow a reel down at this point. I think it's that's gotten to that thick. But you can see where it ran, where it sat in the boat like this, and it kind of flowed over into this cap. And but it sat there for a long time in the boat. And I've decided, I pondered it for a while, a long while, as to whether or not I was going to put this back into use. I bought this when I was doing a bunch of Mitchell 300 reels. I had, it was my first foray into working on those reels, and I had lubricated them with Vaseline. And I took them out on a winter's day, and on that winter's day, you couldn't hardly turn those reels at all. It was like, it was the hardest thing. I felt like I was trying to strip the gears out of them. They were so strong. So that's when I called my dad and said, "Hey, what's the deal? What's going on? Why won't these work?" And I said, "What are you using for grease?" And he told me to go buy a tub of real grease, and that's what I did. I went to Bass Pro Shop and bought this, and I lubricated all those reels. I think I had like 15 of them, and you can look and see I didn't use that much grease out of it. And then it ended up in the boat, and it sat there all those years. Well, I think its day is done. I'm going to dispose of this. If it didn't cost so much to ship it, I would probably give it away to somebody. As a matter of fact, I think I might even offer it to Mario next time he comes in. I'm not going to be using it in any of my reels, because I don't know how long it will be before I get back into any of my reels again. But I think that's it. That's all I wanted to tell you about the greases and reels that I use. Oh, one more thing. I did, after watching Dennis Kuntz over on Second Chance Tackle. Dennis has been using this Penn rod and reel cleaner for years. And I tell you, for the last 2 years, he's only had like this much in the bottom of that bottle. And I've seen him use it over and over. But he only shoots just 2 little spurts on a scrubby pad and goes to work, and it does a great job. So I went ahead and found some, bought it for myself, and I've been using it. But I don't really see that it's doing me that much more good than what the WD-40 was already doing. But I have started trying to use it more, and I'm going to be using it on this Vanguard 1300 reel. I'm going to try to clean it up. That's my next project. But I wanted to talk to you guys about these cleaners, the oils and the lubes. And as Dennis says, he doesn't care what, well, my bottle's been leaking. I had to laying down sideways on the floor, and it's been leaking. So I'll have to make sure not to let that fall over. Anyway, he says he doesn't care what grease or oil you use, as long as they're made for a fishing reel. And I truly believe that that's true. Whether it be the Super Lube. Now, the Super Lube doesn't say specifically that it is for fishing reels, okay? And all the rest of these do. The rest of them all say specifically that they are for fishing reels. This one, here's what it calls out: marine, automotive and industrial, recreation and sporting, go-karts. Now, it does say fishing, hunting, fishing equipment. You can use this on food stuff. You can use this stuff pretty much anywhere. So since it is recommended by Mitchell, or was for years, I think it's probably just fine to use it. So, and it seems to be less expensive than any of the rest of them. So if that's what you want to use, that's fine. I'm not recommending any one of them over any other. So that's my take for today. This is Rick Stivers of the Young. Anyway, if you come across the tackle box and it's got old grease in it, you probably want to dispose of that grease. Let it go. Get you some new, fresh grease. That way, I know that if I put this in a reel, I know they say that you should service it every year, maybe every 2 years. I think this grease, I take grease out all the time that's been in for 15, 20 years, and it's still not completely dried up yet. So I think you'd probably be okay with any of these and servicing every couple of years, and I think you're fine, unless you're using it a whole lot. For now, that's Rick Stivers, the Young Martin's Reels, signing out.